Hello everyone and welcome to or back to my booktube channel. Today's video is going to be my August reading wrap up. So we will be discussing the 12 books I read in August. If you saw from one of my previous vlogs, I did an August TBR and honestly I stuck to that pretty well. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about all these. There were some books I really liked, some books I was disappointed by, and some I was just excited to get off my TBR. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I am going to go slightly out of order because I read some series, but I didn't read them all back to back. So I want to discuss those books back to back and it'll be a little off. So first off, we have Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This is a memoir. I did read the next few books in a reading vlog, so sorry if this is a bit repetitive, and if it's not and you want to know more of my thoughts, head on over to that vlog. But like I was saying, this is a memoir where Dolly talks about parties, dates, friendship, jobs, life, and ultimately love. And I was a little nervous going into this just because I wasn't sure how much I'd have in common with this author. But honestly, I was able to relate to some things and get really good insight out of here. I think I would recommend reading this in your late 20s. So honestly, I'll probably read this in a few years from now just because I think I could relate more to it. But I really did enjoy this, and I didn't give it a rating because it's kind of hard to rate a memoir. Like, what are you supposed to rate it off of? Because usually you're rating it off of like the story, and like this is her life. So I did not give this a rating, but yeah. It compares it to Bridget Jones's Diary, and honestly, I would agree with that. But I like this more than Bridget Jones's Diary actually, so. Next up, I read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This was 5 stars. I absolutely ate this up. This is a romance between a hockey player and an ice skater, and they kind of have to share the rink at this college. And honestly, it's pretty thick, so a lot goes down in here, but I think that's as much information as you really need. This was seriously so good. I loved the whole like hockey team part of this. I just always love that in books. Oh, also I really liked the representation of like therapy here. She talks about going to therapy like multiple times in this book and how much it's helped her, and I really enjoyed that. Yes, it was a light and fluffy romance, but it also dived into deeper elements, and I really liked this. So 5 stars, go read this. Okay, I'm editing, so this is literally the worst video ever. But I somehow failed to mention that I read the guest list. I'll put a picture here. Future editing me. But yeah, I read the guest list by Lucy Foley, and I don't read a lot of mysteries or thrillers, so I was easily entertained, and I think I gave it like 4.25 stars. It is about a wedding in Ireland or something like that, and we get the perspective of 5 guests, and I think the bride and then 4 guests. But like I said, I don't read a lot of those books, so maybe the like ending wouldn't have been so great if you do. But personally, I liked it. Okay, now jumping back in time, I actually first read this book at the beginning of the month and these later, but I'm going to insert them now to talk about them. Mainly because I didn't want to start this video on such a negative note, because these books kind of just weren't it for me. I love the covers. The covers are the best part of this series, in my opinion. That's so mean. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. But I'm sorry. I know that everyone is loving this TV show and these books, and I'm so happy. And I'm probably going to love the TV show as well. But the books were just not my cup of tea, and that's totally okay. I was not Team Jeremiah. I was not Team Conrad. I was not Team Belly. I was team everyone needs to find different love interests and not this love triangle. But yeah. On a positive note, I did enjoy like the summer feel of these. I remember thinking that this one was really easy to fly through, but I was just so angry about the whole Kim Cameron thing. I hated that situation in here. And then honestly, don't really remember the second book. Oh yeah, this book was frustrating. And then so was this one. I was laughing. I was like, we're really gonna take it this route. But I guess I didn't hate this one. This is the one I gave the highest rating. I don't know what I'm going to rate these. I had said 3.75 and then 4, but I just don't think that that's true. But just know that this one was my favorite. Okay, my cookies. That's my cookie timer, so I have to go real quick. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry if the lighting has changed, but like I said, my cookies were done and then I got distracted, but we're back. And the next book we're going to be talking about is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. And this is the sequel to It Ends With Us. And honestly, this was a book I was just trying to get off my physical TBR. Like, I was ready to close this chapter. I rated it 3.75. Let me read y'all my Goodreads review. I said, kinda unnecessary but cute, haha. Basically one big epilogue, but honestly enjoyed getting answers. And then I kind of talked about how they made Ryle, is that his name? Is that how I pronounce his name? I'm not sure. They made him like such a big problem, and then I felt like, I don't know, I thought it was gonna be a bigger deal throughout the book, but the way things got resolved wasn't what I was expecting. It was kind of just fizzled. So that kind of caught me off guard, but I would still recommend if you read It Ends With Us just because it's closure, but if you could do without, then like, that's fine. But like I said, I still enjoyed this. Okay, now getting into books that I read in my latest video, My Cat Chooses My TBR, and that would be starting with The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I really liked this. I feel like I talked a lot about this in that video, so I don't want to be too repetitive, but basically, I feel like Criminal Minds definitely picked this up. I really enjoyed getting to know these characters, and I feel like Jennifer Lynn Barnes did a really good job of making you care about all of them like super quickly, because this is a hot take, but I did not love the Inheritance games. Like, I didn't even pick up the second book. It just wasn't for me. So it was really fun and refreshing to get back into Jennifer Lynn Barnes writing, but enjoy the story more. So yeah. And then the next book I read in that video was Heartless by Elsie Silver. I really liked this. I thought I was going to like it more than the first book in this series, which is Chestnut Springs, but by the end of it, it didn't really hit that mark of making it better. Like, I don't know, Heartless was going so well in the first like 200 pages, and then the last however many pages just didn't really do it for me as much as I was expecting it to. But overall, I love Elsie Silver's writing. I love her stories. Like, ugh. I feel like this is gonna be one of my favorite series. Definitely my favorite romance series for sure, but one of my favorite series of 2023 as a whole. I've already ordered the third book, and I'm really trying to find all of the like these covers, the special edition, but they're like all sold out because they stopped printing them. So if by any chance you know where I can get those that aren't $150 resale, let a girl know, because I've ordered Heartless as this edition off Amazon, but like it's gonna deliver in October, and I'm not really sure if it's going to give me that cover that I'm wanting, but we'll see. And I can't find Flawless anywhere, but I will definitely be picking up Powerless in September. And then the next book I read was Shatter Me, and I'm going to be talking about this as well as the novella. Look how small that is. Destroy Me. But starting with Shatter Me by Tara Mafi. This is dystopian. We have Juliet. Her touch is fatal. She's locked in this like containment area. The world is dying. There's nothing's right. Everything's awful, okay? Definitely kept me entertained and like wanting more, which is why I picked up that novella like ASAP. And I'm currently reading the third book or it's technically the second if we're counting this as like 1.5, but I can't think of what it's called, like Unravel Me or something. It's around here somewhere, and that'll probably be in September's video, hopefully along with more, because I need answers, because everything I thought I knew about this series is not going how I thought, so I need to understand more. And yeah, really like these, but I also just don't love dystopian. But for a dystopian book, I'm enjoying this. I think I rated this 3.75. Okay, no, I rated it 3.5, which honestly makes sense. I know I'm talking like really highly about it right now, but honestly, these really spooked me, scared me. I'm just not a big dystopian fan, which I know that sounds silly to say, but yeah. And lastly, I read The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This is a football ballerina romance. And yeah, super cute, fake dating. They both think they're in the friend zone, which honestly was a little frustrating. I'm like, if y'all would just literally communicate. Like, I understand that that's like mainly the big problem in a lot of these romance books is miscommunication. Because if they were to communicate, like their problems would probably diminish. But this was really fun. I really enjoyed this. I've never read a book about NFL or anything like that. So watching like him go through all that and his interactions with his teammates, that was super interesting. And yeah, it was really cute. I really liked Sarah Adams' writing, so I'll definitely read more of her books. I felt like I was being talked to, like they have dual POV, and I felt like both of these characters were like telling me like what's going on. I felt like it was very personal. 4 stars. And this concludes all 12 books I read in August. Like I said, it was a really good reading month. There were a lot of books here that I really enjoyed and some not so much, but ultimately I'm really happy that I got to all of these. I hope you had a great August. I hope you have an even better September. I'm really excited to post my September TBR because like fall spooky season's coming up. I'm definitely going to be reading a lot more fantasy books. So look forward to that. If y'all read any of those books, please let me know which ones and your opinions. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a good day and reading a good book. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye guys.